Every single day we experience dozens of tiny interruptions. They feel harmless, almost like nothing. But these small moments, they carry a hidden cognitive cost that most of us never even notice. So in this explainer, we're going to look at the biology behind why a simple notification is far more expensive than you think. We've all been there, right? You're focused on your work, maybe you're reading or just thinking, and then your phone screen lights up. It's a message, an email, some kind of alert. You take a quick glance, and then you turn right back to your task. It feels like it cost you maybe a second, if that. But what's really going on inside your brain during that moment? Is it actually just a harmless glance? Well, the biological reality is far more complex and a lot more costly than our common assumption. Most of us tend to believe that staying focused is just a test of discipline, that if we get distracted, it's some kind of personal failing. We assume an interruption costs us just a few seconds. But the biological reality? It's a completely different story. Your reaction isn't about discipline, it's an automatic reflex. And the cost isn't seconds, it's often several minutes.
And this automatic reflex, it actually has a name. It's called the orienting response. It's an involuntary, preconscious shift of your attention toward anything new in your environment, a sound, a movement, or, a flash of light from your phone screen.
Now, this isn't some flaw of the modern mind. It's actually an ancient survival mechanism. This response evolved to help our ancestors detect potential threats, like a predator in their periphery, or opportunities, like a source of food. It's a system that's hardwired for survival, not for sustaining the kind of deep, focused thought that complex work demands. And this is the crucial part, the sequence of events. When a notification arrives, your orienting response triggers instantly. Your attention shifts before you ever make a conscious choice to look. So by the time you've even decided to ignore it, your brain has already paid a price. So if the cost isn't just that split second of the interruption itself, what is it? Where does this hidden tax on our attention actually come from? And here's the core insight of this whole thing. The real cost isn't the interruption, it's the recovery. It's all the difficult mental work your brain has to do after the distraction just to get back to where it was. This recovery process is called context reconstruction. Think of it like this. You have to mentally rebuild the entire scaffolding of your previous thoughts. You have to recall what your goals were, reload all the relevant information into your working memory, and then try to regain your momentum. This is an incredibly demanding process for the brain. And this really shows the huge gap between our perception and what's actually happening. We feel the cost is tiny, just a few seconds. But the actual time for full cognitive recovery, for that complete context reconstruction, that can be many, many minutes. And this recovery tax, well, it really starts to add up. The typical professional gets more than 100 notifications a day. Each and every one triggers that orienting response and then demands a period of context reconstruction. When you think about it, the cumulative effect across a single day is a massive drain on our mental resources. And this is a really important point to understand. If you find yourself struggling to get your focus back after just a simple glance at your phone, you are not failing. This isn't a weakness of character or a lack of discipline. What you're actually experiencing is a predictable, completely normal biological response to your environment. Your brain is simply doing what it evolved to do, but it gets even deeper than that. See, living in a state of constant notifications keeps your brain in this kind of low-level state of alert. This can keep your stress hormones slightly elevated, which over time reduces your cognitive flexibility and shrinks the capacity of your working memory. Your brain literally gets trained to be more reactive instead of reflective. So the real damage here isn't just about those moment-to-moment interruptions. Over time, all these constant alerts actually train your brain to expect interruption as its normal default state. This constant training, it literally retunes what your brain prioritizes. It becomes optimized for novelty over depth, for processing speed over real understanding, and for immediate reaction over careful, deliberate reasoning. So, yeah, this obviously hits our productivity hard, but the conversation really needs to go deeper than that. The ultimate issue here is something much more fundamental. It's the gradual and often silent erosion of our quality of thinking. When our attention is constantly being fragmented, the very quality of our cognition begins to change. You see, true deep thinking, it needs sustained, stable attention. Without it, our thoughts become fragmented. Our reasoning can become shallower. The whole process of learning new complex things slows down. Our ability to form strong long-term memories weakens, and ultimately, our decision-making suffers. So I want to repeat something really important. If any of this feels familiar to you, it does not mean your brain is failing or that you're somehow less capable.
What's really happening is that your brain, which is an incredible organ of adaptation, is just doing its job. It is adapting to the environment we've put it in, an environment that's just saturated with constant, unpredictable interruptions.
So, in the end, this isn't about fixing some personal flaw. It's about recognizing how profoundly our environment shapes our cognition. And the real question we have to ask ourselves is this: is your environment shaping your focus in a way that truly serves you?